not they think voting makes a difference. What would your opinion be?
Yeah, I think voting makes a difference.
You do?
Yeah.
And yourself?
Of course it makes a difference.
Of course it makes a
Every
difference.
vote counts. Yeah, every vote. Everyone has a right to vote.
And next up on the Vocal Local, we have 3 students. Do you just want to give your names?
Arlen McLean.
Shania.
I'm Sean.
And so today we're asking just locals whether or not they think, obviously we have the elections coming up, whether or not you think actually voting makes a difference, or is it just an exercise that citizens feel they have to go through? Do you think it makes a difference to the way the country is going?
I think so.
Yeah?
Like, because you get to give your opinion rather than everyone else just telling you.
Yeah. And so I take it, are you too young to vote at this stage? But when you are, what you definitely will be voting, you think it's definitely worth...
Yeah, I will vote.
And Sean, do you agree?
I don't know. I don't think my vote really matters, to be honest.
Interesting.
I don't know. You know, don't know where this country's going, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially this county. I don't
And
think.
so what would you think would be a better way to affect change in Donegal if not voting?
I'm not sure where to start. I think if they were to listen to the people a bit more, we could make some good progress.
And yourself, Liz?
I agree with Shania.
And so do you think maybe it would be worthwhile that people actually got together themselves to make their voices heard, you know, in the years and on a more regular basis as opposed to just when the elections were coming up?
I think so, but at the same time, people could be bullied into thinking a certain way by other people. At least if you vote, nobody has to know.
That's a very good point because it's in secret and you don't have to feel like you're being led by the group.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, if I could just ask you, just quickly, if you were to vote, what would be the most important issue? Say if you were to vote this year, what would be the most important issue for yourself?
I have no idea.
I'd love to get more funding for the schools. I mean,
No clue. I don't know.
Okay, more funding to the...
Voting age should be reduced to 16.
I'm not sure because some people are wise at 16 and have their head screwed on, but some people have no idea and are just kind of loopy.
That goes throughout all adulthood.
It doesn't change.
But I think it would be all right. Like, there's worse things could happen.
And yourselves?
I think I'm too young to.
Really?
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, I don't think people would know
No,
what they're doing.
no.
I think someone should explain to us how it works because nobody ever tells us.
Right. What about the school strikes and going on in Sweden at the moment, for example, over the environment and the global disaster that we're all facing? What's your views on that?
I think it's good that they're standing for what they like and they're standing up for something important rather than something stupid.
Just asking locals whether or not they believe, seeing as the election is coming up, whether or not voting is actually a viable way to affect change in the county?
Well, it has to be because it's the only way we have.
Do you think it's actually, because you know how some people say once politicians are elected in, they no longer care about what people have to say? Would you think that's the case, or do you think that there could maybe be other ways that people could organize to affect change other than just voting?
I don't know. I think politicians do care, to be quite honest. I think they are caring because they know they have to go back in 5 years' time to get their seat again. So I think they do care. Yeah. So it's not just getting them in and forgetting about you or anything like that. It's not.
And so I take it you'll be voting yourself?
I'm going to vote, yeah.
And what would be one of the most important social issues that would influence who you would vote for?
Well, one of the most important issues probably around the town here is we don't have public toilets. And I'm being a shop owner myself, so I have to let people come in and use the staff toilet. So I think that's one of the issues that should be addressed, and I think some of the politicians are going to address it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And would there be any more sort of wider social issues that you maybe, because some people have mentioned education, funding, health.
Well, health is always going to be an issue, yeah. Always is, maybe it has been for the last 30 years and it will be for the next 30 years, I think, because nobody can get on top of it, so it's very, very difficult.
Okay. Do you think it is specifically to Donegal that kind of gets overlooked in regards to the rest of the country, or do you think most of the country doesn't feel that voting makes a difference?
I think it's very specific up here because if you look at the last few referendums, everyone has like mocked Donegal for their outcome. When if you think about it, why would they vote the way the government wants them to vote when we're cut off from the rest of the Republic by the north? We have no good public transport. The roads are not maintained because we're not given the funding, so young people can't afford to put a car on the road to travel for work, and then there's no work in town. So they're all depressed and broke, and they can't do anything about their depression because our mental health budget is constantly being cut, and the Letterkenny hospital is in ruins, and there's nothing we can do about it locally. Inishowen flooded last year, and they sent 12 army men to help 2 weeks late.
Is more a side to like a populist candidate than like the States does. In the States, we have a real choice. Here, I just see a lot of the parties aligning. I just see them. It's hard for me to pick out one from the other.
So you don't think that there's really a variety of different political stances that people can actually get behind or
I do
make
not.
a stance on?
I do not.